Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Jose Miguel Vivanco, for being here, and Rosa Maria Payá, and your family paid the highest sacrifice. Your father, Osvaldo Payá, stood up for a free Cuba that is something that the Castro regime fears. They killed him, and they covered it up, saying that it was a car crash so that we will never know the truth. I met him twice when I was a news reporter, and he was the epitome of decency. I can say that. And I'm glad that you're here today because of your bravery and your commitment to his memory. After a week of silence, now the Biden administration is saying they're going to review the effect of the remittances. That is very embarrassing. It's a slap in the face to you, to your father, to all the Cuban people, and to us, the elected officials, who were not informed or consulted. The people of Cuba, as we have said, they are not shouting, abajo el embargo, no more, we want more remittances. They're shouting libertad. The bare minimum the Biden administration could do is to connect the internet, because that way the world will be able to know and see the truth, and they can communicate among themselves. They will also know that they are not alone and that the United States is with them. The Biden administration could enhance the Wi-Fi from Havana Embassy or from Guantanamo, and this can be done in minutes. Also, the private sector has developed these balloons that can carry Wi-Fi directly to the island. I'm going to say this message in Spanish. Directamente al pueblo cubano, vamos a hacer historia en el Congreso Federal de los Estados Unidos y hablarle directamente a los cubanos en español. Muchas gracias a ustedes por estar aquí. Tu padre Osvaldo Payá lo sacrificó todo. Luchó por la libertad de Cuba y eso es lo que el régimen teme. Lo asesinaron y falsificaron las evidencias diciendo que fue un accidente de carro para que no sepamos la verdad. Pero estamos aquí hoy gracias por tu valentía y en honor a la verdad. La administración de Biden dice que va a revisar el efecto de las remesas. Esto es un insulto para los cubanos y para nosotros los servidores públicos electos por el pueblo. El pueblo de Cuba no está gritando abajo el embargo, queremos más remesas o más vacunas. Lo que está gritando es queremos libertad. Vamos a hablar de soluciones reales. La mínima, la inmediata, puede ser conectar el Internet, que es la única manera de mostrar la verdad, que se puedan comunicar entre ellos. Y si saben que los Estados Unidos están con el pueblo cubano, millones acudirán a las calles a pedir libertad y el régimen no puede aguantar eso. La administración de Biden puede amplificar el Wi-Fi en la embajada en La Habana y en Guantánamo en cuestión de minutos. El sector privado ha desarrollado la tecnología para proveer esto. La pregunta es, ¿dónde está la Casa Blanca? Now my question is, I'm going to, if I have more time, I'm going to ask you questions, but I would like to talk to Mr. Vivanco and ask you a simple question. I was a news reporter and I saw when Obama lifted all restrictions. For 2.5 years, he gave the opportunity to the Cuban government to really join the international community, and they spit on Obama. 2 years. Dozens of American companies wanted to do business in Cuba, and the Castros did not allow them. Madonna went to celebrate her birthday, and while the Damas de Blanco were being beaten on the streets. Mick Jagger went to do a big concert. I interviewed dozens of American companies who wanted to do business with the Cuban government, and during the Obama years, the Cubans said, no, I don't know, let me see, because they are in the business of power. So when you are telling me, Mr. Vivanco, and you have a fantastic organization that you represent looking out for human rights, when you tell me the embargo is the solution, Obama proved it, and they spit on him, which was lamentable. So why do we have to lift the embargo? Please.
I never say that the embargo is the solution. I say that the embargo is the problem, it's not the solution. And if you want to improve,
what do you mean by that?
Well, because, you know, and secondly, Congresswoman Salazar, the part of the problem is the perception, the notion that that there is some sort of quid pro quo relationship with the Cuban government. The Cuban government, I don't think, is interested in lifting the embargo. I think the embargo helped the Cuban government to keep that notion, that narrative that they are victims of the U.S. government.
But if the United States wants to do business and the American companies want to do business in Cuba, if the tyranny doesn't let them, it doesn't matter if there is an embargo or not. They just simply cannot go, Home Depot or Sheraton.
What you need is to create the conditions for the international community, for the rest of democracies in the world.
Obama created it, sir.
But,
or didn't he?
Right, no, but what you need is to create the conditions for democracies in Latin America and Europe to join support for human rights in Cuba. They are not crossing that line because the policy of isolation that they
Sir,
refuse,
Obama lifted the policy of isolation for 2.5 years, and the Castro regime did not respond.
I don't
They
think
gave
Obama,
everything in exchange of nothing. Let's look at the empirical evidence. Obama allowed for any American company to go and invest in Cuba, whether it was construction, hotel, hospitality, and the Cubans did not sign the contract.
Right, but
there was a ferry. I remember I was there. I was a news reporter. A ferry that wanted to go from Key West to Havana. The Cubans never allowed it. So what are you, I just would like to understand your position, so maybe I can support it, but I don't see it because history proved it already with President Obama. So now if you lift the embargo, what's going to happen is the Chinese model. And the Chinese model is the worst thing that could happen to the Cubans.
Thank you, Congresswoman. In the second round, you'll be able to continue your questioning.
Thank you, sorry.
Debbie